Real Estate Investing Profits presents Profit Masters with your host, world-renowned real estate coach and investor, Corey Boatwright. Now, strap in and get ready to learn elite wealth-building investment strategies taught by 6- and 7-figure house flipping masters as they reveal their best real estate investing profit secrets to you right now.
What is going on, people? This is Corey Boatwright. I'm your host of Real Estate Investing Profit Masters podcast series, and also the founder of realestateinvestingprofits.com. I hope you're having a phenomenal, fun day. I have an incredible interview with Mr. Ken Corsini. He's out of Hotlanta, Atlanta, Georgia. And actually, I need your support. Now, listen up, okay? We all need your support on this. Ken actually has a show that's getting picked up on HGTV. The pilot comes out May 12th, 2016 at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Flipping the South. And I want you to put that in your calendar and support his show, because the more people that watch it all the way from the start to end, because they actually record the ratings and they actually judge, and all the analytics are looked at on if you DVR it, if you switch to another channel. And it's pretty fascinating. And basically, he needs as much support as you can for the show to be picked up as a series, right? So just like Fixer Upper or Flipper Flop, we want his show to be picked up as well. You're going to love this interview because he's doing something that I've never heard anyone doing. And I'm going to keep it a little surprise for you, because he's doing fix and flips, but they're not the kind of fix and flips that you would normally think of, right? He's doing a little spin on it. And that's really comes down to really incredible marketing, all right? He's a smart guy. I met him in Collective Genius, our incredible mastermind. Good friend Jason Medley that started that over 5 years ago. And basically, you know, he is doing some big things out of Georgia that you're going to want to pay attention to. Okay. I love this interview so much. He's such a down-to-earth person, and I want to support him. I want us to come together and make sure that you watch Flipping the South May 12th. 2016 at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have kids, make sure that you just plan on it right now. By the way, if you haven't, text the word profit to 38470 to get your down and dirty ultimate real estate investing quick start guide. Do it now. Do it now. It's huge. As Donald Trump would say, it's huge, man. So we're getting thousands of people to download that, and it's because people love it, right? And you can get it for free. We sell it on Amazon, but you can get it for free if you text the word profit 38470. Tell me what you think about it. Make sure you leave a comment here on our podcast review. Okay. Also, if you're interested in taking your business to the next level by doing some coaching, we offer some strategy sessions. They're called phone coaching strategy sessions. And what you can do is go to realestateinvestingprofits.com/podcast. At the very top, you're going to see a little link that says coaching. And I want you to check this out. I want you to check it out and see if it's a right fit for you. You're going to watch a really short video on there. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas and give you a couple of questions, and we'll see if this is the right fit for you, because mentoring is one of the fastest ways. You hear it on every single interview, it seems like. That is one of the fastest ways to get to where you want to go faster, right? At the end of the day, time is not recyclable. And I know you have goals, and maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you can get there faster. So coaching is definitely one way that really helps do that. All right, here's Mr. Ken Corsini. Make sure you pay attention to what he's doing, how he's flipping these properties. I'll put them pictures in the show notes, okay? But make sure that you also pay attention to what he's doing, and go ahead and support HGTV on his time at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 12th, 2016. All right, here we go. Thank you again. I appreciate you so much. Here's Mr. Ken Corsini.
Ken, my man, what's up?
How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing well. What's up in the ATL?
You know, man, Hotlanta. I'm staying hot. We're in the 80s today, man. Crazy.
Hotlanta. Right.
That's right.
Well, there are so many cool things going on with you right now. We jokingly kid back and forth on calling you Neo, that you look like a Keanu Reeves from the Matrix. But we met each other in the Collective Genius, another fantastic mastermind that I talk about. Lots of guests that come on here from Collective Genius, and one thing we talk about is about our Profit Master strategy, and we talk about what's really working in your business. I want to spend a little bit of time Also talking about kind of your big surprise that's really going on with HGTV. I really like to get the listeners behind on supporting you on that. I think that's really important. That's coming up on May 12th. So I'll let you, I don't want to spoil that, but I'll let you talk about that here in just a second. Before we get into it, why don't you spend just a little bit of time on talking about what's your area of expertise right now in real estate and what made you want to get involved in real estate investing?
Sure. So I'll take you back to when I got started in real estate, which was 2005. So I've been at this full time for 11 years. And, I got in real estate just because I really enjoyed the whole idea of buying and selling for a profit. I've always loved real estate. And I was at a corporate job at the time. Actually, Marsh & McLennan had a really good company with Fortune 500, a company, Marsh & McLennan, doing some tech consulting with them, but knew that was not, the corporate route was not the route for me. So I was looking for an exit point.
Why did you know that wasn't the route for you? Did you just not like the way the structure was, or you just like the attitudes, or what turned you off?
Honestly, I thrived in the environment. I actually was assistant vice president at 27. I was doing really well,
right?
But I've always been an entrepreneur. And because you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be doing your own thing, you want to be doing your own thing. You don't want to be working for somebody else.
Right.
I was 27, billing at like $250 an hour. And I was like, what in the world am I doing? I'm seeing so little of this.
Right.
If I could do this on my own and make
how much did you get to keep of the 250? How much did you get to keep?
Right. Yeah. I mean, close to nothing. It was crazy. Right. And so I was smart enough to know, okay, there's ways to make money and make it on my own, not for somebody else.
That's smart. Yeah,
and really so smart. Real estate was just a real natural fit for me. And for a lot of entrepreneurs. I mean, like you, a lot of entrepreneurs find their way from other businesses and industries into real estate just because it just fits so well for an entrepreneur.
Right. So what area are you focused in right now? And this will be, I think, a good time to talk about a little bit of the surprise with HGTV.
Sure. Well, so I've done turnkey. If you guys are familiar with the turnkey, where we fix and we rent and we sell to investors. That's been our primary business for the last 10 years. Now, really, we're more just straight retail where we just fix and flip and sell to owner occupants because Atlanta's a very hot market right now. And that's really our primary business model. We do some wholesaling. We do some new construction. So I don't want to say we just do this one thing really well because we do a little bit of everything.
How many of those are you doing right now, Ken?
The last 3 years, we've done over 100 houses a year. We're on target to do that again this year.
That's great.
And every year we try to get smarter about the houses, the higher profit deals, maybe the same volume, but higher profit deals. That's sort of what we're after this year, a little bit heavier pops.
That makes sense. Who was one of your influences when you got involved with investing?
Who I was listening to before I left my day job was Carlton Sheets. Isn't that funny?
Carlton Sheets.
Have you ever heard of Carlton Sheets? He was the no money down guy.
Dude, he was the guy who put all the little tiny ads in the paper.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. He had a whole course. He had the CDs and the tapes on no money down.
Right.
And I was listening to him, just soaking up and absorbing the concepts, learn, not necessarily implementing what he was teaching because it was a little outdated, but learning the concept. It got me more excited about real estate. And, ultimately he sort of inspired me to get into real estate amazingly.
That's pretty funny. And I went through his no money down course too. Is he even doing real estate anymore? Last time I heard he's in Florida.
He's in Florida. That's a good question. So many of his strategies are outdated. I mean, they were really old mortgage products and whatnot, but he was old back then. So I imagine he's pretty old now.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty old, right? Pretty seasoned guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So was there a breaking point? Was that at that corporate job? Did you have a breaking point where he's like, enough's enough. I've got to do my own thing.
Not probably a total breaking point, but I felt it pretty heavily. Like I need to get out on my own. Interestingly, I had an opportunity to open up a Chick-fil-A. And so it was sort of like, do I get into fast food?
I love Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, great. Dude. I worked at Chick-fil-A all through high school. They were one of my clients at Marsh. And I love Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I was like, do I get into the fast food business or do I flip houses? And I was like, I don't see myself supersizing people for the rest of my life. I think I'm going to go the real estate route.
Right.
But I knew I needed to get away from the corporate world. I needed to figure something out. So I went into real estate. Thank God I went into real estate.
Thank God. Yeah. All right. So I want to talk about your Profit Master investing strategy. But this will be, I think, tell us about what's going on with HGTV and kind of how that all happened and and what you really need everyone to do to make this go the way you want it to be.
Yeah. So a year ago, it was probably March of last year, I get a random call from a casting director who says, hey, we're looking to put together a flipping show, like a husband and wife flipping show for HGTV. Are you interested? And on a whim, I was like, yeah, whatever, sure. So we jump on a Skype call, me and my wife. They record it. They button it up. They send it to HGTV. They love it. Next thing you know, they're scheduling a sizzle reel. We didn't know what a sizzle reel was at the time.
It's like a 1 minute little thing, right? Or like all the everything you can do in 1 minute, right?
Well, it's 4 minutes. So ours was 4 minutes.
Okay.
And they actually they sent a crew and shot with us for 2 days.
Wow.
Pretty,
so
like
4
12-hour
minutes,
days.
2 days to 4 minutes.
Oh, and that's what we've learned. I mean, you shoot so much video to condense down to just a small fraction of what you keep. And so they liked the sizzle reel. That was this summer, and they approved a pilot. So in the fall, me and my wife shot a pilot. Here we shot over the course of probably 2 months, maybe 10 days of filming. And then they've been in the process of editing it. And apparently they like the pilot a whole lot. And so they're going to air the pilot May 12th at 11 p.m. It's called Flipping the South. And so we're trying to get as much hype and excitement about it as we can.
That's awesome. Flipping the South, right? So it's going to be like before or after like Fixer Upper or, Flip or Flop, or what is it Eastern time, or is it just any time during their own time zone?
So it's 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time, okay.
And Thursday, I think, is like the Flip or Flop night. So it's probably going to come on, my guess would be after Flip or Flop.
Okay. And is Mother's Day like right around there?
That's a good question. That's something I need to look up quickly before I completely forget and leave my mom hanging.
Right. I'll make sure that I'm just trying to get something somebody can remember it by, but it's got to be pretty close to either that weekend before or after, I know. But okay, so it's May 12th and it's on HGTV. It's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's right.
And it's called Flipping the South.
Yep.
Now, specifically, you said that once you start watching it, because you learn some of the ways that they do metrics and analytics with the TV stations, is that you want to start watching and watch it all the way to the end, or it actually hurts you, right?
That's right. So that's sort of what we've been told.
Okay.
Is that they don't do focus groups anymore. Like in the old days, they would get a group of 12 people together and say, what do you think? Now, with everybody owning a DVR, it's like they've got a built-in sort of Nielsen rating system with everybody.
Sure.
So they watch for a couple things. They watch to see if people watch it all the way through. They watch to see if people record it. And then if you record it, do you watch it in the first 3 days or in the first 10 days?
Wow, they know all that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a little scary, actually, right?
Right.
So, but they're tracking all this data. And then even if you watch it multiple times, so if you record it and watch it twice, that's a positive thing. All
right. So watch it 10 times, right?
There you go.
Or 20 or 50, whatever you want to do. Help support Ken out by doing this. I'm definitely going to do this. I'm telling everybody I know about, putting it on my social media channels here and our people on our email list, and just really want to support this and help you as much as we can to drive that support, because I know it's going to be a big deal. That can be life-changing for you, Ken. If this
Absolutely could be.
To blow up. Well, cool. Very cool. Excited for you. Congratulations on that. You and your wife, Anita, are the partners on that.
That's right. Yeah. I appreciate that. She's an amazing real estate agent. Awesome interior design, eye for interior design. She's been an absolute joy to work with.
And can we talk about you fix up farmhouses, kind of be more modern? Is that kind of the idea?
Well, so we build new construction farmhouses.
New construction.
Yeah, that's sort of been our niche here as well. Some of the new construction stuff we've been doing north of Atlanta has been selling really, really well, very popular. And it's that modern farmhouse design. You sort of mix the big front porches and the nice finishes with sort of that shiplap look,
Right. Shiplap.
Right. It works, man. People dig it.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's going to be great, man. Something different, and you're good at it. I mean, you've gotten some great experience at it.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's worked well for us.
Let's talk about the Profit Master investing strategy. What's really working well right now that you can share in your business, Ken, that's just crushing it for you in Atlanta, Hotlanta?
Well, new construction, honestly, has been really good for us here lately. And it's one of those things where we've combined what we've learned as real estate investors in terms of finding off-market properties.
Okay.
Your average builder doesn't know how to send out a postcard campaign or even put up bandit signs or search tax records to find parcels to go after. So we've had some good luck finding dirt to develop that other builders probably don't know how to get. And then you combine that with the ability to put together some money. Your small builders can do onesie twosies.
Right.
Your large tract builders will go in and, develop 100 houses, but there's not many guys in the middle who, we're looking at doing a 25-acre subdivision, maybe 19, 20 homes.
Right.
Really nice finishes on 1 acre lots. It's a niche product. And so what's working well for us is carving out this niche and building in some really good margins, but utilizing a lot of the skills that we've built over the years being real estate investors to do that.
So what type of house is it? Is it that more that farmhouse style for those?
Looks like from the outside, looks like a farmhouse. Outdoor fireplaces, really cool living spaces, very natural 1 acre lots. So people, like the fact that there's still a lot of trees,
right?
That they get a little more privacy. Not a ton of square footage. It's more of a focus on finishes than on square footage.
Kim, would you do me a favor? Could you send a picture maybe of one that I can put in our show notes?
Absolutely.
That'd be great. I think people would really like to kind of see what that looks like, and we'll make sure that's on the website so people can really get an idea. Because I've seen it from the pictures from the mastermind, but it's really I think you're onto something, man.
Yep.
I think you're onto
I'd
something.
love to send that over.
Very, very cool. So, what is a lesson that you've learned that's really helped you get to where you are today? What's a great lesson that's helped you be successful in your business, Ken?
So I've been at this 11 years full time, and you can imagine starting in 2005 up until 2016, you think of all the changes that we've gone through as real estate investors,
right?
How much our industry has changed. And so, I look back and I feel like what I've learned to do over the years is adapt. I think if there's one word that investors need to incorporate into their repertoire is adaptation. Learn to adapt to the market you're in, because I feel like it is every other year, there are some big shifts that are happening underneath. And if you're not nimble enough and quick enough to adapt, then you get left in the dust in this business and you find yourself in a tight spot. So for us, it's reading those signs. What's the industry doing? How is the market changing? And then being able to make those changes, implement them quickly into your business to stay ahead of the curve.
I like that. So adapting to the market.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Learning, adapting. So what's working now may not work 12 months from now.
Yeah.
And you need to be okay with that so you can still do well.
Well, that's one of the benefits of our mastermind, right?
Right.
We're all helping each other monitor the market and stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. I think Mike Jake in there talks about the mastermind is his insurance policy.
That's right. That's such a good quote. That's exactly right.
He has many of them.
Yeah.
Well, if you had to start all over again, what would be one thing that you would change? What is some advice for someone that's new getting involved with real estate investing?
It's just by nature of being in any business, you're going to learn along the way.
Right.
And you're going to, it's not so much that I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes along the way, but it was all a process of education and learning, hiring, like you said, we talked about earlier, hiring contractors, making sure that you learn to vet your contractors, learning to vet houses. It's those skills that you develop over time. I can't go back and just snap my fingers and go back in time and say, I wish I knew everything I know now.
Right.
Because that's not how life works. You learn as you go. And so it's, I don't have any big regrets. I mean, I like the way that, my career has progressed over the last 11 years, but it's been a series of lessons and education and then making, shifts in my business as a result of that education, if that makes sense. But I think I was probably a little more swinging from the hip when I was younger, in my 20s when I got started. I've become a much more careful investor, more meticulous in evaluating deals. Where when you're early on, you're so hungry to do a deal.
Right. Just do anything, everything, just getting the experience.
Exactly. Let me just buy some. Where now I'm much more careful because I've learned over the years, you can make a lot of money, but you can also get stung on deals as well. So I'm a much more careful buyer now than I used to be.
I like that. Yeah. It's, and it does. It's just wisdom, right? Wisdom of doing deals. So I know many people talk about taking action, right? But it's funny as you get, you do more deals, you kind of tell yourself, what action should I take?
That's right.
Not just taking action on everything, being a little bit more selective on the massive action that you take, right?
I had I actually got my master's degree from Georgia Tech, and one of my professors is a very well-known developer in Atlanta. And one of his things was, some of the best deals he ever did are the ones he didn't do.
Right.
Because he learned over the years is you don't jump at everything. You choose carefully the deals that you want to get into.
I love that. I love it. What's a favorite motivational quote that you just love?
Well, I guess a quote that I try to tend to live by is just the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I mean, and that I think that applies perfectly into business. The only way you maintain a solid reputation in this business is to treat others the way you want to be treated.
I like that. Do you have books that you read a lot, Ken? Do you have one that's really changed your perspective or changed your life?
I do read. It's funny. I know in our mastermind, there's a lot of guys that just soak up business books day in and day out. And I read some business books, but it's funny. I don't know. I tend to find myself I want to be more balanced in what I read. And if there's one book that I read every day, it's the Bible. I mean, I get up every morning, and that is going to be the most life-changing book you'll ever read.
Right.
And every time you go to it, it's like a well of living water. There will always be something for you to extract from that book. So if there's one book out there that I think is the most life-changing book ever written, it's got to be the Word of God. In terms of a business book, the most recent book I read that I feel like has made changes in how I operate inside my business is The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Which is, it's really changed my mindset on how I allocate my time. And, the whole idea of time blocking has been huge for me in terms of my productivity.
That's great. Yeah, I love that book. What's the one thing? I got 50 things to do. No, you got one.
That's right.
What's the one most important? It is. And it's difficult sometimes to decide what that one thing is.
Yeah.
But there is one.
We're so motivated by cleaning out our inbox or being reactive to what's happening over the course of the day. It's so easy to think you accomplished a lot in a day because you responded to everybody's email or you called everybody back.
Right.
You might have accomplished nothing in terms of growing your business.
So true.
But you felt like you were busy and accomplished them because your inbox was at zero. It was a good mind shift for me.
It is. It was for me too. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. The One Thing by Gary Keller. We'll put that in the show notes. Do you have a morning routine, Ken, that you go through every single morning? You said you read the Bible. So are you pretty strict on your morning routine?
Yeah, I try to be. So, I get up and we have a little library off of our bedroom. So, I get in there and the dog jumps on the couch with me and I read my Bible. I spend some time in prayer and, thinking about the day, and the dog's there praying with me.
I love that.
And then I head downstairs and my kids are getting ready for school. So I try to make them breakfast if I can, get them out the door. And then I have a gym in the basement. So it's important to me to exercise, try to work out for 30, 45 minutes.
Nice.
And then stroll into work about 9:30. To me, my morning is more important than just about any other time during the course of the day because it sets the tone for the day.
What time do you get up?
About 7-ish. Not 7. Super early. Yeah, about 7.
Okay.
I'm definitely not an early morning guy. But
so you're not a 4:30, 5:30 in the morning guy.
I can't do it, man. I cannot do it. I would not function if I got up that early.
Do you have some coffee in the morning as well?
Yeah, I get a little coffee, wake me up. Try to get a little protein smoothie in me to help me going through the morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have 2 kids or 1 kid?
3 kids.
3 kids.
Yep. So I've got an 8-year-old and then twin 5-year-olds, and they're up bright and early usually, and they're asking me what's for breakfast. So
right.
I'm down there trying to get them out there, and that's the thing in our business have the flexibility to make your kids breakfast and get them off to school. When so many of my friends, they left for work at 6:30 in the morning and they never saw their kids. I mean, that's one of the things. That's what you carve out when you run your own business is this quality of life that you can be around your family.
I love it, man. That's powerful. And plus, I know that this is probably not necessarily the time to go into the depth of it, but you had a pretty big scare with Rocco.
Yep.
Which he was diagnosed with cancer at a young. How old was he when that happened?
He was just about 4.
Yep. And I just can't even. I remember seeing that we had a lot of people that were in prayer for him, and thank God everything has been great now. It's almost like it never happened. No relapse, nothing like that. I went through cancer myself, so I was really sensitive to that. And man, just it's just awesome to be able to spend that time with your kids in the morning, but also be able to. I know at that time you had to just kind of take off of life, really, not
That's
just, but take off work and everything. And so, but your business continued to run, which is incredible. Even to some, I think at one conversation, you said it was almost doing better without you directly involved in some parts of it, which is, it's just incredible. But I'm so glad that part of your life has elapsed and everything's okay with Rocco. But
well, I appreciate that. It definitely, as you well know, having gone through it yourself, it will change your perspective permanently on life.
It will. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know you shaved your head for him. I remember just it's pretty intense, man. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
do you get 8 hours of sleep a day?
I do. Yeah. I am a big dude. I don't know if you know this, being 220 pounds for whatever reason, I'm a big guy that likes a lot of sleep. And if I don't get a lot of sleep.
6'8"? How tall are you?
No.
6'7"?
6'5".
6'5". Okay.
6'5". That's still big. I just require a lot of sleep, man. I always have. And if I don't get enough, I don't function well. I just know that about myself.
Right.
So I am intentional about my sleep.
So you do, or you get 8 hours pretty?
Absolutely. 8 to 9. Yeah. I'm careful about my sleep.
8 to 9. Nice.
Yeah.
That is great, man. Okay.
Depends on what was on TV the night before, but usually.
Right. If the prophet was on and there's.
That's right. Yeah. It depends who Jimmy Fallon had on that night. It was interesting.
What are you most grateful for? I know you've been through a lot of things, but what is it you're most grateful for?
I'm thankful for a lot of things. I mean, you and I, all of us, we're so truly blessed. I'm thankful, right? At least in this season of my life, I'm super thankful for my wife. She is an unbelievable partner, supporter, encourager. I mean, a good wife is worth, more than any amount of gold.
More than rubies and gold.
That's right. Yeah. It's so true. And she supported me when, we launched the business. She continues to encourage me in the business. Now she's walking alongside me through the TV show here, and all the while doing an amazing job with our kids, and even homeschools one of our daughters. I mean, she's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah. So I'm truly thankful for her.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
At what point do you recommend hiring a coach, and how important has that been to your success where you are today?
So I've never hired a business coach myself as of yet. And it's one of those things I've actually looked at it pretty darn closely here in the last year. I am a huge proponent of seeking out wisdom. Mm. There are always people farther down the road who have more levels of wisdom that you can extract from them. And so I try to meet with people especially in my community, my church community, and glean whatever life wisdom or business wisdom I can. I mean, for example, I have a lunch set up next week with one of the top developers in Atlanta. He's a Christian guy who I know will impart a lot of wisdom to me in what we're doing. So I wouldn't necessarily consider a mentor because it's not like a regular meeting thing. But to me, extracting wisdom from those guys that are, further down the road is super important to just being a well-rounded person.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And I think it's just seeking out people that may have made mistakes, right? And then they can tell you, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be expensive, or, there's a better way, something that you're not thinking about.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think it's important as well, too. If you had to summarize it, what or why do you do what you do, right? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Why do you, that's such an open-ended question. It can be answered so many different ways. To me, people ask, what's the meaning of life? And this is something I go back to. Why do I do what I do? What's my purpose? And I go back to the Westminster Shorter Catechism, which is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Mm. And I try not to get caught up in just living a life that's about building a business or making more money or becoming successful, by the world standards. To me, ultimately, at the end of the day, this life is temporary. Riches are temporary.
Right.
So, I want to do everything I can in this life to glorify God, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm flipping real estate or flipping burgers.
That's good, man. That's solid. I totally agree, man. I think that this life is temporary, and it's so easy to get caught up in the minutia of the day to day, and almost have those things define who you are.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about having the relationship with God is that defines who you are, even when you don't have such a great day, right? It isn't like we were just talking on before we got on here, right? Challenges throughout a day that you have for being an entrepreneur and doing deals. It might be something that takes a lot of people out because it gets so hard sometimes getting so many darts thrown at you because if you're a target.
Yep.
But because you don't let those things define you, right? And you create space between you and the thing. That's the difference, I think, is that whenever you have that ability to be able to go, man, God, show me what to do. Help me do something. When you spend your time in the morning with prayer. Prayer obviously is also a form of meditation, right? It's just who you're praying to. And in the Christian relationship with God, it is so important because you're defining who you are outside of the things of what you do.
Absolutely.
And those other things that happen to you, success happens to you, all these other things, that doesn't define who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think that is important, and I'm so excited to see these things happening to you because I know that success is a magnifier of what you already are. So if you're a person that's stingy and doesn't help people and not serving people and then you get a bunch of success, then you're going to be a bigger magnifier of being more stingy, more selfish, not helping people, not being a good person, really.
That's right.
But
yeah,
helping people, serving people at a small place, and then when you get a magnify and get success, then you'll be able to do more of it. So I'm excited to see you impact more people's lives, man.
Man, well, we appreciate that, and we're thankful, for the opportunity. It's with success and opportunity is also a lot of responsibility, and so we feel that as well. We feel blessed that there is an opportunity. Right.
That is that's important, man. That there is accountability with that for sure. So okay, so how can we serve you? What can we do to help you? I know that the HGTV is really important right now. So that I'm going to say it again. It's May 12th, HGTV at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's kind of late. So make a commitment now to plan for it. So if you have kids or something, it's not like it comes up. So make sure you plan on that. Help support Ken on that.
Yep.
What else can we do to help you with? You have a podcast, which is going great. That's called the Deal Farm Podcast. I happen to be right there next to you on the wall.
There it is. Yeah, back there. If you weren't paying attention.
You didn't know, the people are listening are like, what's on his wall? I can't see it.
What's on that?
So the wood panel on his wall, it says Deal Farm Podcast. Very subtle. For his promo.
Sending
here.
Subliminal messages towards you the entire time.
But fantastic. A lot of the same folks that are on his podcast, the same one that are on my podcast. And, I love the fact that you really get into just really a candid story. I guess I'm a little bit more rigid on asking a lot of the same questions because I know a lot of people want to know those things. And I tend to just kind of go off into another direction if I don't have that structure. But I really like listening to some of your podcasts on there. And I get that conversational tone. I really like it. So check out Deal Farm Podcast with Ken Corsini. And you can listen to that. We'll have that on the show notes, Ken. We'll put a link right there to the iTunes where they can go in and subscribe. Do you have another link that they can go to or anything like that will help HGTV, letting them know that they're supporting you? Is there anything else that you can send over that you have that maybe someone can share with their friends or something like that?
You know what? Let's do we can send that Facebook post.
Okay.
It's a public post, and yeah, absolutely share it. Let that thing go through the social media networks and circles. That would be awesome. We can put that in the show notes as well.
That'd be great. Okay, that sounds good. So make sure you send that picture over of those farmhouses, modern farmhouse. I love the concept.
Absolutely,
it's awesome, man. So you got a big things happening. I mean, it's coming up here pretty soon. A couple of weeks.
Man. It's snuck up. Well, it's funny. It's like hurry up and wait because we've been waiting and re-editing. And it's like, when is this? And then all of a sudden, bam! 2 weeks out, it's coming.
It's coming. Right.
And so all of a sudden, it's getting real. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm switching around this on who we have here in our lineup for you to make sure we get this out Just want to make sure you have as much support as we can give you. So
I appreciate that. You've been a huge supporter, Corey, and I really, really do appreciate that.
I appreciate you too, man. It's an honor to be able to support someone that's doing a lot of good. So you are, my friend, and it's awesome. Love your attitude. Love everything you're doing. Love how you're helping people and serving them, and being able to create that podcast is great too. I know that was one thing that you just had an idea about. Now look where I think you're over 100 episodes. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, like, I'm sure you get this too. It's fun talking to people, and I am way more loosey-goosey conversational, just because it's the same conversation I would have if the mic wasn't rolling. I just want to get to know somebody and what they're doing and kind of how they're doing. I really enjoy talking to those people.
I love that, man. You're so much better at it than on me. I tend to like go off into we'll be on there for 2 hours. So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Remember to be on our next podcast because we're going to bring on another guest that I think you're going to just really be blown away on what he's doing. So make sure you tune in for that, a little mystery for you. And make sure that you go support Ken with Flipping the South. Flipping the South. And it's going to be a monster hit, but it won't be unless you and others support what they're doing there. So it can be picked up as a regular airing. And then you can say, I remember I heard that guy, Ken, on Corey's podcast. I remember when. And then Kim will remember all the little people.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, Ken.
Thanks so much, Corey. Good talking to you.
No problem. Remember, be a servant. Talk to you guys later. Bye now.
Hi, this is Corey Boatwright, and I have a quick question for you. What is the fastest way to reach your goals? Is it to work harder, work smarter, use system and processes, or hire rock star employees? What about just making more money? Actually, it's none of that. Those things are a byproduct of the one success component that every real estate investor or business owner that I know all have in common. And the answer is clarity. Complete laser focus on what you want, why you want it, and what are you willing to do to get it. So where do you find clarity? By hiring a coach and mentor. Now, could you reach the level of success that you want to achieve by doing this all on your own? The Lone Ranger. Well, maybe, but do you think it would take you double or even triple the time to achieve it compared to hiring a coach and mentor to help guide your path, provide proven instruction with a tailored blueprint that you could follow for building a real estate business that supports your lifestyle and helps you reach your financial and personal goals? Absolutely. Here's the fact. Time isn't recyclable. So I would like to ask you to make good use of it and extend a personal invitation for you to book a phone coaching strategy session by going to callwithcorey.com. That's callwithcorey, Corey spelled CORY.com. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions on that page, and we're going to go over and see how we can make sure that your business is on path to reach the goals that you want this year. So go to callwithcorey.com, that's CORY, and book your phone coaching strategy session today. Remember, be a servant, and I'll see you on there.
You've been listening to another Real Estate Investing Profits Master Podcast Series. To receive your free real estate book, Down and Dirty, Ultimate Real Estate Investing Quick Start Guide, how to quit your job to start flipping houses in 90 days or less, head online and go to realestateinvestingprofits.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Estate Investing Profits. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.